there, buddy? Can't be pretending to be a cop.
I'm gonna talk to her for a minute.
Me? How you doing?
What's going on?
This is all I got on me. Like I said, I'm under equipped. I was just heading over there to the courthouse.
To the courthouse for what?
To get my crap.
What's up, man?
Alright. I'm just gonna be straight up honest with you. I'm not a cop.
Okay. At this point right now, you are being under arrest. Do you understand? You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can be used against you in court.
Here we see Brendan Wazinski pulling over a car on 4th Street near Interstate 40 in Albuquerque, New Mexico. It's Monday just after 12:30 a.m. He's wearing a police badge and had pulled over this driver for allegedly going over 120 miles an hour on the interstate. Upon tailing this speeding driver, Brendan turned on his police lights and pulled the driver over. During the discussion between Brendan and the driver, an actual Albuquerque police officer happened to drive by the scene. He thought nothing of it until Brendan waved at the officer as he drove by. This drew the officer's attention, and as he looked closer, he saw a vehicle without any police markings, but was outfitted with red and blue flashing lights, and also saw Brendan wearing civilian clothing with a badge on his belt. This immediately raised red flags with the officer, so he ran the car's plates through the system and found that the car was not a registered police vehicle. He then approached Brendan, and this is where you see the footage start.
I'm gonna talk to her for a minute.
Me? How you doing?
What's going on? Let's just talk back here real quick. Who do you work for?
Early Insurance Office.
Oh, okay.
I know, I'm under equipped.
Okay, because normally, dude, if you're out here, man, if you're making a traffic stop, you're just gonna have to stop, dude. Alright? Are you, you say you work for Bernalillo Sheriff's?
Yes, sir.
Okay, do you have an ID with you?
I mean, this is all I got on me. Like I said, I'm under equipped. I was just heading over there to the courthouse.
To the courthouse for what?
To get my crap.
Okay.
I know, it makes no sense. I caught him going 120 down I-40.
Okay.
Brendan's body language is immediately suspicious. Once he starts being questioned by the cop, he immediately begins to rub his face before stopping suddenly. This is called a pacifying behavior and shows the suspect has elevated stress levels. He stops doing this behavior suddenly the moment he consciously becomes aware that it looks suspicious. He then does a micro expression of a facial tense and also looks away, which is classified as a distancing behavior. The tensed face shows that the suspect again has elevated stress levels, as our muscles begin to tense up when experiencing higher stress levels. This is due to the increased blood flow, which is in turn due to the defense mechanism in the brain being triggered. He also looks away, which is him trying to distance himself from the cop, the person causing him the immediate stress. The fact that this happens so briefly shows that it's not intentional, more a direct response to the situation that he knows that he's gotten himself into. Once he realizes that he's doing it, he quickly stops showing the officer that he's trying to hide something. All of this body language would be incredibly suspicious to a trained and experienced police officer.
Why do you have lights on this vehicle?
Personal? I know.
Do you have an ID with you at all?
No, I keep it on my uniform.
Okay. What's your name?
Brendan Wazinski.
What is it?
Brendan Wazinski.
Brandon?
Yes, sir.
How do you spell that?
B-R-E-N-D-E-N.
And your last name?
W-Y-S-Y-N-S-K-I.
Hold on. W-Y?
Yes, sir.
S?
Y-N-S-K-I.
So, Wazinski? Wazinski? Is that how you spell it?
Yes, sir.
What's your date of birth, man? Type, man,
Yes, sir. If you
All
don't mind, I'm just going to go through back there.
Right. San Juan Adam PD.
San Juan Adam.
I'm going to be at Frontage Road and 4th. Can you start me a unit and see if there is a BCSO supervisor that can come to my 20?
Separate, can you advise?
I'm gonna be out with one of the units.
1049. 10-4, hold me up. 10-4.
Hey, just hang tight, man. And I'm not here yet.
Understand, Adam, I'm gonna need 49 to advise me to as well.
10-4. And I'm not here to mess with you, man. It's just the thing is, yeah, he was speeding, dude. You could have called it in, and because if you get into shooting, you're screwed.
Right.
All right, man.
I understand.
Right.
This, for starters, I know this looks really bad.
Right.
This looks really bad. This screams whacker.
Right. How long you been on?
About 3 years.
Okay. I've been on for like 13 years. All right. So I'm not saying I'm perfect, and I'm not saying that I've never done anything to against protocol, but you need to be a little bit more careful, all right? So just do me a favor, hang tight for a second.
At this moment, the officer is certain that Brendan is not a real police officer, but is acting as if he believes him in order to avoid escalating the situation. He does this to buy time to wait for another officer to arrive on the scene. With more officers present, the risk of him trying to resist an arrest is significantly lower.
Okay?
Yes, sir.
And we're gonna, and that's it, all right? Once we're done here, we're done, all right? So just give me a bit, all right? Thanks. Hey, Brendan. In the meanwhile, man, until I get somebody out here, man, do me a favor. I'm not gonna handcuff you, but I'm gonna have you sit in the back of my car, all right?
All right.
Do you have anything on you, man? Any weapons or anything?
Keys.
Okay.
Keys and wallet.
That's fine.
The officer is pretending to be friendly with Brendan, calling him man way too many times in one sentence. This is to make Brendan feel as though he's not in any danger, and he specifically says that he won't cuff him, not that he's not being arrested. This also gets Brendan away from his car where he could potentially be concealing a weapon, and upon searching the vehicle, officers found a handgun underneath his seat.
Just have a seat, all right?
All right.
Try to get everything cleared up, man. Just have a seat. What's up, man?
All right. I'm just gonna be straight up honest with you. I'm
Okay.
not a cop.
Okay. Okay.
I'm just gonna be.
Where'd you get that
fucking
badge from?
honest. I bought it offline.
Okay. Do me a favor. Stay in here, okay? For a second. Hey, Brendan, step out of the vehicle for a second, man. Okay, face the vehicle. At this point right now, you are being under arrest. Do you understand?
Okay.
It's only until Brendan sees the officer's car pull up that he realizes that there's no way out of the situation. This is when he decides to admit to the officer that he is not in fact a police officer. He thinks that this will look better for him in court if he admits the truth to the first officer before anyone else turns up. Pay close attention to the fact that he says he bought his badge on the internet. This fact will come up later in the video, so please be sure to remember it.
Turn your hands forward. Turn your hands this way. There you go. Okay. Go ahead and have a seat. And give me a moment, and then we're going to talk a little bit more, okay?
All right.
Step out of the vehicle for a second. Okay, face the vehicle. At this point right now, you are being under arrest. You understand? Okay. Turn your hands this way. There you go. Go ahead and have a seat. And give me a a moment, and then we're going to talk a little bit more, okay?
Mind if I take a look at your badge? Would you be okay with that?
Yeah.
You got this online?
It was at one point my father's.
Here we see Brendan slowly digging his own grave. He now changes his story from buying the badge online to it being his father's handed down to him. This story gets much more ludicrous as it goes along, so be sure to stick around until the end to watch his web of lies come crashing down.
Okay, can I ask your name?
Brendan?
Brandon?
Yes, sir.
And your last name, Brandon?
Wuzinski.
What's your last name?
Wuzinski.
Wazinski.
Yes, sir. Oh my god, even you spelled it wrong.
How do you spell Wazinski?
Did you?
W-Y-S-Y-N-S-K-I.
Okay, never mind, you got it right.
You got it right?
Everyone gets it wrong.
Okay. Okay. Well, thank you.
Well, hold on. Do you mind if I call my wife and tell her I'm not coming home tonight?
That's going to be a decision these gentlemen make. If you'll hang tight.
Yeah, give us
just
a little bit,
second,
alright?
okay?
Come on out. Feet first, it's just easier that way.
You first.
We'll get your hat in a little bit.
Channel 131, call 10 for step out.
We'll get it right now. Don't worry about it. Okay. I'll have somebody pick it up. Can we go down to the left? Down the hall? Sorry. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can be used against you in court. You have the right to an attorney. If you cannot afford an attorney, one will be provided to you by court. At this time, if you wish to talk to me, you can stop talking to me at any time. Would you like to talk to me about what happened tonight?
Yeah, I'm as well. I'll own it. I'll own it.
Okay, so let's start from the beginning. So what happened tonight?
Well, you just want...
Just tell me from the beginning what happened before I approached you.
I was going to work. Caught this guy flying down the highway at 120.
Mm-hmm. Where do you work at?
I work at Albuquerque Courtesy and Parking.
Courtesy and Parking?
Mm-hmm.
Is that for the city or who does that for?
It's a security company.
Okay. And say that again? The Albuquerque
Courtesy and Parking.
Courtesy and Parking. Okay. I'm like... Okay. How do you know how fast the other car was going?
Trailed behind him.
Okay. And then what happened when you saw him going that fast? Was it on the freeway, on the street?
Freeway.
Okay, then what happened?
Flashed my lights, pulled him over.
Okay.
And then that's
The lights
that's about the time that you got there.
Okay. The lights, were they in your car or personal car or company car?
My car.
Your personal car?
Yes.
Okay. Who installed the lights in your car?
I did.
You did? Okay, and when I peeked into your car, I also saw that you had some sort of radio. Is that yours too? Okay. And then when I made contact with you, I noticed you had a badge. Where'd you get that badge from?
Belonged to my dad.
It belongs to your dad? When was
Well,
he?
it did.
It did? Is he still around, or did he pass away?
Well, he was killed.
Oh, he was killed, okay. When was he killed?
About 5-6 years ago.
Okay. When did he leave the department?
He didn't leave. He was killed in line of duty.
Oh, was it now?
You can hear the doubt in the officer's voice here. This is because Brendan has dramatically changed his story from what it was before and is now claiming that it was his dad's badge that was passed on down to him when he was killed in the line of duty. Brendan thinks that this story will help buy him sympathy from the judge in the hope that they will give him a more lenient sentence. You can tell that the cop is getting angry at Brendan. You can hear him constantly clicking his pen, which is a pacifying behavior. His stress levels are elevated, and as a result he has to distract himself by fidgeting with the pen. This suggests that he feels angered at Brendan for pretending that his dad died in the line of duty as a way to get sympathy.
Okay, I'm sorry to hear that. Okay, and you said he used to work for BCSO, Brandon County Sheriff's? Okay, and when I approached you, why did you identify yourself as a deputy or a part of BCSO?
I freaked out.
Okay. Okay, because I asked you your date of birth and you initially gave me something in 1994.
Right.
Okay. Okay. What did the driver say to you?
He said he was something about his sister in the hospital, and that he was trying to get there. I told him it's not worth killing someone over.
Okay. How old was the guy? How did he look? How old did he look?
Based off of his license, he was about 60. And
60?
I didn't do the math in my head.
Okay. Do you remember his name at all? Okay. Alright. Do you have any weapons in your vehicle?
There's a handgun in a locked case under the seat.
Okay. Is there anything inside the vehicle that we should know about?
In the glove box, I think I have a set of handcuffs and some extra ammunition for the handgun.
Okay. Alright. For now, that'll conclude our interview. More likely, somebody else will give you a phone call later on and just try to go a little bit more in depth, okay?
Nah, man, your car got towed.
Yeah, I know. It's in the impound lot now.
Yeah.
You guys at least got my stuff out of there, right?
What do you mean?
My phone and stuff.
So, since it's being seized for evidence, everything stays in there.
God damn it.
Yeah, buddy. Can't be pretending to be a cop.
Brendan was charged with impersonating a police officer and didn't contest the charge. He was then sentenced by a judge to 1 year probation. He was also prohibited from possessing handcuffs, firearms, and deadly weapons. Attorneys with the Public Defender's Office say Wyszynski had been diagnosed with developmental disorders, autism spectrum disorder, and attention deficit hyperactivity disorder. And clinicians say those disorders likely played a hand in his decision to pretend to be a police officer and pull over a car for speeding. But even though a psychologist and the Metropolitan Court's clinician recommended Brandon as a candidate for the mental health court, the District Attorney's Office has decided not to go that route. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you did enjoy it, please be sure to hit the like button and subscribe for more content, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.